What's up, guys? Welcome to Bipolar Boxing. We're going to do a breakdown for David Morrell versus David Benavidez going on Saturday. This is an awesome fight. It's one of the best fights to make in the whole sport. And I love both of these guys. Both of these guys are the clear three and four best fighters in now that's the light heavyweight division they're both fighting at. But they're both clearly in the top five. So anytime a top five guy is facing another top five guy, you got two undefeated guys. Neither one, won a title at 168, but they were clearly the second and third best, I would say, in that division. And now they're both up to 175. So it's a tough fight to pick, and I just don't know a lot about David Morrell. I've watched his whole career, and he looks very good. I just wish, for that guy's own sake, and it's nobody's fault but his own. I wish he would have stepped up prior to this fight so we could really see how he is against world class level fighters. He could be there. He could be the best. He could be better than Bivol. He could be better than Beterbiev. But when it comes to, picking fights, you kind of got to go with what you know. And what I know is that David Benavidez can fight at world level. We just don't know that about Morrell because he's never faced world level. And I don't like taking fighters that um they just step up too much. He has to take this fight at this point in his career. They've been trying to fast track him. It's just you're not putting him in there against good fighters. Like his last fight against, Hot Rod, like it's a halfway decent name, but like that guy's not that good. And even at 175 pounds, there's not a lot of good fighters at 175. And he's not even a good fighter at 175. I don't think. He's nowhere near world class level. Guys like Caleb Plant, even though Demetrius Andrade was a 160 pounder who came up to 168, he's still a lot better than anybody on Morrell's resume. So, and it's different styles and everything like that, but that's also good for Benavidez. He can go in there and beat a knockout artist like David Lemieux. He could beat a guy who's got way better boxing skill than him in Caleb Plant and Demetrius Andrade. He beat both of those guys. He's just Benavidez has done it all. And he's also got a hell of a chin. And, my path to victory for Morrell for this fight would be by knockout. Just because, yeah, Benavidez can take punches from Caleb Plant, Demetrius Andrade, or whatever. It's easier to fight those guys when you don't have any respect for what's coming back. So it's easy to win those fights. Maybe Morrell would have been able to win those fights, but I don't know. But yeah, Morrell's path to victory here is going to be a win by KO. The thing is, I just don't see David Benavidez getting KO'd in this fight. I definitely don't see him getting outboxed over the fight. So, I mean, it's kind of an easy fight for me to pick. I'm not going to throw a ton of money on it. I already got him locked in a parlay, so I'm not going to hedge my parlay at all. I'm just going to, he's my last leg, so I'm just going to ride with it. But David Benavidez at minus around like 200, I think it's great value. I think it's great value. Some people say great value the other way because they see it as a 50-50 fight, and a 50-50 fight, just go with the underdog who's plus like 180. You can get him around now because the lines are creeping up. I got David Benavidez at minus 180. He's at around like minus 240 now, but you should be able to get him somewhere in there. And I just think it's great odds. I think it's great odds. I don't know how he wins. Another aspect in this fight is going to be how each fighter handles the weight. 175. Neither one of them looked good in their last performances at 175. And, neither one, their power didn't carry over. That worries me more for Morrell than it does Benavidez because I think Benavidez, he beat Caleb Plant in a decision, and Caleb Plant's a great boxer. So, yeah, just I think the safer pick here is to go with Benavidez. Morrell could be that dude. And if that turns out to be the case, like this would be a good fight to get value on him because he wins this fight, you ain't gonna get good value on him until he's fighting, Bivol or Better Be Off, which should be next for either one of these guys. But we'll see. Yeah, this is just a thing where I don't know how good Morrell is. I've always thought he was a great fighter. He's got a lot of potential, but like you need to step up somewhere. You can't just go from Hot Rod, like I can't even pronounce his name, so I'm not going to say it. You can't go from Hot Rod up to David Benavidez. If David Benavidez would have taken this fight before the Demetrius Andrade and Caleb Plant fights, I might have said the same thing there. And then it would be a true 50-50 fight because neither one of them were really tested that much in their career. But yeah, Benavidez has just been there before. He's been at these big fights. He's got the experience. I know Morrell had a great amateur career, but like it doesn't mean anything to me because now we're at world level and you're making a huge step up. And I think it's going to be a great learning experience for Morrell. Even if he loses here, he's still a top five guy. It doesn't matter if he gets knocked out in the first round, he's still a top five guy at 175. If he wants to go down to 168, he's still a top five guy there as well. But Benavidez, he needs this fight, man. He has a certain aura around him where you got guys like Paulie Malignaggi doesn't even think that Canelo and Benavidez is like a fair fight. He thinks Benavidez can walk through, and there's a lot of people saying that. They're not saying the same thing about David Morrell, and like I said, he could have it, but I'm not going to put my money on a guy who hasn't proven himself in the ring against top guys. He's proven himself. He's won the fights he needed to win. That's just not enough for me to have confidence that you could go beat a guy who we already know is at world level. And the other guy's undefeated as well. Benavidez got a great chin. Um, I, but I'm interested to see this fight, see the way it goes. I just think that Benavidez, if he wants to, he can fight off his back foot for a little bit of this fight. And almost let Morrell tire himself out. That's what I worry about in this fight. Morrell really only knows one way to fight. He's probably a better pure boxer than Benavidez, and he's got way better, like, footwork. He's probably got better hand speed. But Benavidez, man, he rips to the body and shit like that. Like this might be a fight where Benavidez could back himself in the corner for like the first four rounds, let Morrell fight off his front foot, not get knocked out, and Morrell's going to tire himself out just because he's never been in a real fight before. And I think Benavidez can get a late knockout here. And but like if I got to pick between knockout and a decision, I'm going to go the safe route and just say Benavidez wins a decision here. And I don't know what the scores would be, but I'd say it's going to be pretty comfortable because I just think Morrell's not going to be able to knock him out. He's going to take some early rounds, but he's going to give everything in those early rounds, and I don't think his body's going to be able to hold up. I think Benavidez is going to be ripping the body all night, and then when Benavidez decides to fight off of his front foot, it's going to be a lot of Morrell just using like lateral movement and stuff like that, hopping around the ring just to avoid Benavidez. And event Benavidez is going to break him down, and Morrell's not going to do much the second half of the fight. But I mean, it's an exciting fight to make. Whoever wins this fight will be fighting Bival or Beterbiev next, and the whole card's gonna be. It's a good card. At least like the last three fights on there should be somewhat competitive. Like I know Pitbull Cruz is on there. He's like minus 700-800 favorite. Like there's no way I'm putting my money on Pitbull Cruz minus 800 against almost anybody in the world. I don't even know the guy he's fighting, but Cruz can be outboxed by anybody. And I'm not putting my money on him minus 800 against anybody. Just put your money on, you know, maybe Pitbull Cruz by decision in that fight because Pitbull Cruz is not a knockout artist that people think he is. The other fight is like, Figueroa versus Fulton. There's another fight that's going to be probably the fight of the night on that card. But I think, Figueroa wins that one as well. And he's about the same odds as Benavidez. So, like, if you're looking to do a parlay on this, like, you could maybe throw Pitbull on there, but I would leave him off and just take Figueroa and Benavidez on a parlay. Get it right around like even money, maybe a plus money, depending on what odds you can get. But yeah, just the safest bet here is Benavidez. I would be not shocked, but I'd be surprised if Morrell wins this one and we kind of forget about David Benavidez. Like if Morrell loses this fight, he's still got time to grow. That'll be a great learning experience for him. If Benavidez loses, people are going to be saying, fraud check and stuff like that if he loses. It's not the other way around for Morrell. Like so, yeah, I just got Benavidez here, and I'm gonna go by decision. Comfortable with decision for David Benavidez. Let me know who you guys think's gonna win. And let me know who you think's gonna win the Figueroa fight. And let me know if you think Benavidez, like, if he does get the chance to fight Canelo, if he should go back down to fight Canelo or stay up here and get a guaranteed shot at Beterbiev or Bivol. But yeah, that's my pick, guys. Have a good night.